Thank you very much for this opportunity to present the preliminary plans for reopening of Down County Consortium number 29, formerly known as McKenney Hill Center. I'd like to introduce some of the folks who participated in the process who are here today. Starting from my left is Mrs. Cheryl Poland, who is the principal at Oakland Terrace. To my right is Mr. Steve Parker with Grimmett Parker Architects. In the audience, I also like to recognize Ms. Debbie Ryan, who's the assistant principal at Oakland Terrace. We also have Mr. David Oakes from Grimmett Parker and Ms. Lillian Gonzalez and staff at Oakland Terrace as well. But besides the folks who are here today, if you flip to page 2 and page 2A of your brochure, it lists all the folks who participated in the process, and you can see that there are a number of folks from both communities of Oakland Terrace and Woodland Elementary School, as well as some of the governmental agencies. So there's a lot of interest in this particular project. Again, if you flip to page 3, just a brief background on the history of the building. Originally constructed in 1951 with a couple of additions, a very small building of about 29,000 square foot building actually was raised during this past summer with contract forwarded by you. This is in anticipation that the construction is taking long and also efforts to save the time and trying to complete the project on time. So the building has been raised. The purpose of the project is to reopen the McKenney Hill Center with this replacement building for approximately 640 students to alleviate the growing student enrollment at both Oakland Terrace and Woodland Elementary Schools. It will serve K and grade 1 through 5 with approximately 34 teaching stations. When it is completed in August of 2012, the building will be approximately 95,000 square foot building. So having said that, I'll turn it over to Steve to give you a brief overview of the project, and I believe Ms. Pulliam may want to make a statement as well. Steve?
Okay. When we started the design of this building, we were given two communities, Oakland Terrace and Woodland Elementary School, and they participated in a great way. As you can see, there are a great number of people came to the meetings. They helped us create a set of guiding principles that we lived by in the course of the design of the solution, and they recommended the solutions that we'll show. And one of the things about this site is that, as you can see, it's a challenging site because while it's 12.5 acres, a good portion of the 12.5 acres is in stream valley buffers and tall trees and so on. In which case, the new design is a 3-story elementary school designed into. This site plan, by the way, shows the existing building where it is. And right on the site, there's one entrance point to the site. So there are a few challenges that we had to overcome, and we'll talk about that. But they became opportunities that were kind of celebrated in the design of the building. So there's a change in level as well. So we come into the site and you're high, and you go down about 10 feet or so. And that gave us an opportunity to put a 3-story building in, since it's a tight site and we want to get as much of the site available for fields and so on as we can. So we enter on the middle level of the building, and we either go down a story or up a story. And so I'm going to switch to the final site plan. So one of the things in every school that's important to you, and particularly in a school that has one point of access, is that we have a separation of cars, buses, and pedestrians, and that they all enter the school in a safe way, and they all kind of enter the same general area of the building so that the administrative staff, the principal and so on, can control the coming and going as you often, as you always like to have it in your schools. So we come into the site, we separate cars and their drop-off area from buses and their drop-off area, and pedestrians we actually bring through an area both through the park and through the center of the site to the front door. And another challenge we have is we also have to bring, of course, service into that one area. So we bring service off of that as well and screen it from the main entrance, which you'll see in a moment. And then the school itself was designed to be on one side of the site, actually pretty close to where the original building was. I've done a lot of these, and you always end up, the original architect actually did a pretty good job at thinking about where the building ought to be, and after all of us talked about it for a long time, we decided, yeah, it was right. It was sort of in that location. And the building's long and orients north and south, which gives us the maximum and best opportunities for daylight into classrooms. South elevations and north elevations give very controlled daylighting opportunities, and the building sets up very nicely that way as it goes along. Play fields, academic classrooms. Another wonderful thing about this site is that the classrooms look out over what in effect is a big parkland. Out the woods on one side and the fields on the other side. It's just, in a lot of ways, it's a wonderful educational environment. I'm going to go down to the lower level. Now, we've entered on the middle level, but the lower level is built into the side of the hill. This is up at the upper level, and then all of the lower level is on grade. So there's no basement area, there's no area below grade, and on that level are the youngest children, and they go out to the field areas that are on that level. The K, pre-K, and 1 are on the lower level, as is the gymnasium, which is located here in the center of the building. You'll see there's a big stair that connects all 3 levels to the building, so as I enter the building now, and come into the building from this big stair, I can go down that level to the gymnasium, or I can enter the gymnasium from the outside, from the field level as well, either way. So the main entrance to the building faced out to that parking lot. Administration, as usual, is the first thing overseeing the coming and going. And one of our challenges on the site was to take the multi-purpose room, which needed to be by service, needed to be by the main entrance, but wanted to be by the fields, which is on a different level. We located right adjacent to that big stair that goes right out to the fields right there. So that became one of the major criteria. And then additional classrooms on the other end of the building. And then the upper level are the highest grades. So the youngest children are on the grade level, and then the oldest children are on the 3rd level of the building, the 1 story up and 1 story down. What I do now is just switch. Close that. Close it. Okay, and talk about the exterior of the building. It's a brick building that has basically 2 colors of brick in order to reduce the sort of scale of the building, since it's 3 stories, and the window patterns of the building also are set up to sort of help reduce the scale of the building as we move along it. It looks like it's easier to see on a TV set. You're looking down now where the fields go into the gymnasium area that's adjacent to it, and the classrooms as we come along. And we're going to look back at an outdoor environmental learning classroom when we get to the corner back up in the upper corner. And we go around to the south side of the building, which faces the park-like tree areas, and we have shade the windows, and then around back to the front. And we have the service area, but you can see we've screened it from vision of people seeing as you come in. We've screened that service area so that while it's where it needed to be in access and so on, it's out of view and out of sight from the people as they enter toward the building as they approach it. So that's a real quick story about McKenney Hills Elementary School, and we're happy to answer questions.
Okay, Ms. Plant, would you like to make a statement?
Thank you. Just a brief statement. Certainly, the Oakland Terrace and Woodland communities are extremely excited about this, the opening of the future DCC number 29, Down County Consortium number 29. We have had a great process, certainly, with both Grimm and Parker and all of Montgomery County Public Schools staff. We've learned a lot. The meetings, I think, from the feedback that we've received from the various stakeholders in our community, have been based around. It was actually an educational process for us. We learned a lot about lighting, a lot about